Welcome back to Mcoc Al Bundy Rules. Got another walkthrough for you. This Act 7, Chapter 1, Quest number 3, 7.1.3 from book number 2 coming to ya. Help you along the way. We see Special Connoisseur. Defender takes 90% reduced damage without an active prowess. And then there's Mutant Mastery. When that mutant applies the debuff, 40% chance to gain indefinite prowess, increasing by 30%. This chance increases by 20% for each debuff on the defender, so mutants that do debuffs is going to be very beneficial here. And defender starts with a fight with bleed immunity, which alternates every 10 seconds with poison immunity. So we're looking for mutants, and we have the same global nodes as the previous ones in Act 7, Chapter 1. Goal here for this path is taking mutants, preferably ones that do debuffs, preferably the debuffs of things other than poison and or bleed, at least not primarily. That way I don't have to kind of pay attention to the rotation. I hate paying attention to timers and rotations as we see the bleed immunity right now. However, Apocalypse does some good debuffs. He does do some bleeds with the heavies, but he does some other good debuffs as well, so I'm going to work him on up. The strategy is use my mutant attack team in order to, not to do that, not to take a special one right to the gut, but to go ahead and knock on these debuffs. We see I went to S2 based on him with the cable synergy. I got 4 charges to start off with, so I got double debuffs on that. That gives me some prowess. I have a bunch of prowess going on right now. I got a 4 and a 3 prowess, and now with this S1, it's going to give me more prowess as well. I got these debuffs. I'm just going to go ahead and launch my heavies along the way to keep my debuffs up. I have my prowess, which is good as well, so I can continue to do damage. Otherwise, it is 90% less damage without a prowess, which is where I brought mutants with debuffs to gain those indefinite prowess. And now I'm going to keep attacking that Sentry as I'm trying to keep my debuffs up with the heavies, and also while trying to bait out that special and working my way to S3 is the goal. As S3, I can put a permanent lock on those debuffs for the rest of the fight. If you're not sure what I'm doing or how I'm using Apocalypse, be sure to check out my champ tutorial playlist, in which I have Apocalypse in there. Gives you all the good rundown on how to use this awesome champ. I know when he first came out, he got more love for his synergies, and people just kind of dismissed him for a while, but as many people know by now, amazing champ in his own. With that S3, I have those debuffs locked in for the rest of the fight. So I really don't have to do anything I don't want. I can just take these 668 damage per tick going on and just watch the Sentry just melts himself, as those will be going on for the rest of the fight at this point. Of course, if I can speed things up a little bit, I'm going to do that as well, but I will try to play careful. Already made a couple mistakes, going to try to minimize more. Lost some damage on those mistakes with Apocalypse. So I'm going to go ahead and bait out the special, make sure not to do anything too silly, and get a little bit more prowess going on with the special damage. And nice, bait out at least the last part of that special one, and trying to wrap up this fight is my goal. Is down to 5%. Still got that 668 per tick, just ticking away. And I'll just let him kind of melt. I don't need to do anything right now. Okay, just go ahead and fall. Oh, as I'm trying to let him tick down, I thought he was down, and he kind of got part of an S1 off. Gave me a little bit of damage. That was just me being careless right there. Anyway, no biggie. Ain't too worried as I go into the Black Panther fight now. Taking a look at what I want to do. Giving it a thought. I did bring Psylocke, as those of you who've been watching my channel for a while know, is one of my much enjoyed champs. Probably got more videos on her than any of my other champs, actually. So I decided to go ahead and use my Horseman pre-fight on her, so I can have a little bit of fun. Psylocke I've always found is a really fun champ, but especially with the synergy and or the pre-fight, she's just a complete delight to play. And I'm going to go ahead, I'm locking stuff in, so I baited this out. Now I got my S1, so now I will have a permanent power lock on Black Panther Civil War. I am going to have to be careful though, looking out for those armor ups, so I'll try to be careful when I see them. And if you're not sure how I'm using Psylocke, be sure to check out, like I said, I have a lot of videos on here, but be sure to check out my champ tutorial. One of my older champ tutorials, but still a good one that will show you all the goodies that you need to know. One thing though that is slowing down her buildup, unlike the other champs on the unlike Apocalypse, who had a lot of the debuffs and was able to build up a bunch of prowess, she doesn't have those kind of debuffs right at the kick. Oh, it took a little bit of a chip shot by accident, got intercepted. And so that unlocked Black Panther Civil War's power lock. Tried to lock it back in, but I think I just slightly missed it by a fraction of a bar of power, so I will keep an eye on that as I'll try to get him back into power locked is going to be a goal. Gonna have to try to bait out a special while it's low on the bar side so I can permanent power lock him again. That unfortunately took that a little bit of a hit, and now I should be able to get another permanent power lock on him once again with that power drain. Being careful, was trying to parry since there was no armor up, but the parry didn't seem to want to function. So let's get a little bit of play going on. And unfortunately, since I'm not able to really build up the prowess on this fight, she's not doing that much damage as she would otherwise. But that's okay, I'm still having fun using her, even though I've made a couple little mistakes with her play. And normally I wouldn't use too much of her specials, but based on the way the nodes are on this fight, I'm going to be forced to use a little bit more specials than I would normally like, as we saw some pretty good damage on that special too. Also, I got 41 of her charges. If I find a clean shot for a heavy, I can do some pretty massive damage right now with those 41 red little skull doohickeys. I forget what they're called. So many dang names on this game for all these things. But in the meantime, get another nice S2. Unfortunately, the second hit didn't crit, but I still got some pretty decent damage as I got him down to 40%. I am keeping an eye on my little red doohickeys, deciding if I feel like I got a clean shot to use them or how high I want to go. At this point with 55, I could do some pretty dang good damage, but I could also use them in an S3 if I needed. But now I'm starting to get him down, got him down to 20%. Fight's taking a little bit. However, that's okay. Keep hitting and kicking him with my sword. Must be a plastic sword since I keep slicing him, but he does not bleed. Wonder where she got this sword at. And a nice second hit on that S2. And we are getting ready to wrap this fight up as he is down to 3%. Just trying to be careful. Have already made a good amount of mistakes so far in this path. More mistakes than I should have. But that's okay. I'm confident in my abilities to get through this. And we don't gotta be pretty. We don't gotta be perfect. We just need those results, right? We just need to get through it. Troop it up. Move on. Get it done. Don't sweat over the little thingies. Again, looking at the mutant mastery. Going to go on down to She-Hulk. Making sure I was still on the same path. And keep in mind, these are some pretty high health pool champs too, pretty close to 400,000 health pool. I'm deciding my Cable should be good here, and he is actually extremely good for this path. Look how quick he's building up prowess because of those debuffs, those degenerations are giving me a lot of prowess. If I just started, I'm only at 11 prowess. When I feel comfortable, normally I wouldn't be too worried about using specials with him, but I cannot resist so many prowess so easy. So I'm definitely going to do the special too. And got some pretty, didn't even crit, and got some pretty good damage. If that had critted, that would have been pretty devastating. But back down to 3 prowess. And I can just, even though not doing a lot of physical damage, the degeneration is just wearing She-Hulk down. And even better yet, high prowess specials are doing some pretty nice additional damage. Got that Incinerate going on. Cable with the Mcoc synergy can absolutely devastate this path, by the way, as we've seen me use a few different mutants right now with different varying results. Cable by far is looking like the cleanest and smoothest of these three options that we've seen me use on this path so far. And that is Night Out for She-Hulk. Very simple, straightforward file. Just parry heavy, build up some prowess with that strategy, and then launch an S2 whenever I feel like it. Preferably high prowess, of course. And now I'm looking at Thor Ragnarok, who just got a pretty cool little buff. This was filmed actually right before the buff went live. Therefore, you're not going to see the buff version of him. And I decided to go ahead and use Magneto. Magneto for a few reasons. One, prowess is needed really to get some decent damage on this path. He gets prowess on command pretty much with parry heavy, then charging the heavies. If you're not sure how to use Magneto, I have a few videos on him, including a tutorial after buff tutorial. Be sure to check it out. Our pretty straightforward champ, building up his prowess right now. And I'm looking at what I want to do as I got him up to 38 prowess. Oh, I accidentally took him, missed on the parry there. And now my prowess started to tick down a little bit, but launched this S3 out. This AS3 should be a pretty nice one with the metal champ. The S3 itself didn't do a whole lot of damage, but we saw, well, actually I saw 188,000 there on that shrapnel, which was nice. Always gonna like some good big numbers like that. However, his health pool is so dang high, even 188,000 damage from that S3, that one hit of the S3 alone, didn't do as much as I would like. And I made a mistake there and pushed him into his power gain without having a special on hand. But I was able to bait out one part, gonna have to bait out a second one now, an S2, before I really do much, and there we go. Well, even with a big S3, Thor Ragnarok's only at 50% health still, which means I'm back to starting over on the prowess build up. Go ahead and heavy charge. Heavy charge, heavy charge, heavy charge. Oh, didn't S2 just because I'm like, you know what, let me see what that will do and give me an armor break on there. But I didn't crit and didn't do enough damage that I really was hoping for, unfortunately. I was hoping for some better damage, and I still got him down only to, got a third of him left to knock out. So this fight has taken longer. I probably could have played this fight a little smoother in hindsight if I had started off the fight high prowess S2 followed by high prowess S3 and not getting hit again, missing a parry yet again. His bug is still active during these filming and causing a couple missed parries in this fight alone. But we troop on through, we get it done. I am doing my prowess. Got 9 of them. Need to do some parry heavy charging. And I'm going to go for another one. What I just remembered is the bleed immunity, and that is one of the reasons why I got less damage on his S3 as well, was trying to remember. I've completely forgotten until right now that one of the nodes had bleed immunity on there, which is one of the main reasons I did less damage than I should have done. If I had been paying attention to remembering the nodes, that fight would have been smoother. That was just a pretty sloppy fight on something that should have been fairly easy. But it's okay, it's okay, we all good. All good in the neighborhood, working our way through as we see Lady Thor. Lady Jane or Jane Foster or whatever her name is. I don't remember. And Jane Foster, that's her name. And we're going to go ahead and smackety dab Calamity Pow on her. Got big old Mcoc. Decided to go ahead and use Mcoc again. I've been a little sloppy so far. And I know he had some rejuvenation going on. I wouldn't mind building back up some charges with the fight. So figured, hey, why not? Oh, I just ran into an S1. Talk about sloppy. How do I run into I got special intercepted. What is wrong with me? Okay, well, I'll drop kicker to make myself feel a tiny bit better, but I'm down to 5% thanks to getting intercepted by a special one due to my own impatient stupidity. And now I'm just going to get done whatever I can. I can't even launch specials without knowing recoil will finish me off, but at this point with 3%, whatever, let's just get whatever last damage I can, but I don't even have prowess up. So, yeah, this is not looking good right here, unfortunately. And I'm down to 2%. I just threw in that S2 just for fun, just to put myself out of my misery here. Didn't even get good damage because I had no prowess up. So that kind of sucked, but I have only myself to blame for that one. I got impatient, I got sloppy, and they got ugly. But I'm going to bring in good old Cable now because I just feel like I need some happiness, and nothing brings happiness quite as quick as his degeneration. Happiness to me anyways, maybe not so much the defender, as we see her just melting away. Maybe I should just do every dang fight with Cable and Mcoc synergy. It makes things so much easier, but probably not as fun to watch, and knowing not everybody has that. I try not to overuse it, but it does make a lot of content really easy as we see, and I have it as a little go-to when in times of need such as this. I do see 17 prowess, so I launched that AS2, and I got some decent damage there, but start back up on the 0 prowess, so get back to my degeneration heavy spamming. Go ahead and knock her around a little bit. Do some more parry heavy, and she is just melting away. Cable with Mcoc synergy is so good for this path, by the way, as I've already said, but I'll say it again. Why? Because I can, and because it's true, and frankly could use some extra emphasis, especially based on looking at my team a little low right now. But I got this fight left on the path of the Venompool. See Special Connoisseur still going on, so I'm going to go ahead and use my Psylocke here. Break her back on now. I got the Horseman of Apocalypse pre-fight still activated on her. I was trying to do a parry. Parry wasn't quite working. And I'm going to go ahead. And again, she doesn't have as easy of a prowess build-up as, say, a Cable, but I can still get some good stuff going with her. But the first thing I want to do is get a permanent power lock, which I can do right about here. Although he's got a power gain going on, so that was a bad timing for the power gain, because that's going to immediately break my permanent power lock. However, I can still easily power control him with the tools I have at her disposal. Sometimes people think that she's not good. Oh, man. Against power gain champions, that's not true, but it's also not very helpful when I run right into a specialty. That's back-to-back fights, I think. Back-to-back defenders where I have ran right into a special. I don't know what is going on. A sloppiness and patience, weird, I don't know. But two defenders in a row, I got special intercepted. Wow, that is unbecoming of me. And now missed a parry. Again, parry bug is still active while this video was being filmed. So it is a little hard to do some of these videos sometimes when you keep dealing with so many bugs. But if I can overcome it with all these bugs and unknown and unexpected gameplay, that means I know you can do it. I got faith in you, especially once these bugs get cleared up some lifetime. And Venompool. Tron again, the parry didn't want to work, so I'll do some parry heavy. Gonna go for some more parry heavy. Hey, if it ain't broke, why try to fix it? Just do what's working. And right now, Cable's parry heavy has been the most reliable thing for me on this path. Nothing else has been, between me getting intercepted by specials, between my parry not working worth the dang, between me trying to dash in and not dashing in. So yeah, I will work with what I got. And what I got has been a lot sloppy. Partially my fault, partially the game is just so dang busted. But anyway, let us go into, thankfully for these characters, select that as something I love about Act 7, and I can definitely use that. I do have my Guardian, I'm pretty confident in my Guardian. However, what I do want to bring in is my Red Guardian, Why go with just a Guardian when I can add in a Red Guardian? And the main reason I want this Red Guardian is because of a specific node we're going to see on this coming on up, as we see a high health pool. Scrolling down past the regular and see defective defense, blocking text, 100% chance to apply a disorient debuff, block proficiency for 12 seconds, 50% flat if block was well timed. Buffet is the big reason I want a Red Guardian. 7 seconds if a buff triggered by the attacker is nullified. The defender regenerates 5% of max health. We also have Power Focus 1 and Foresight. So intercepting the dash attack with a basic attack is going to give some bonus there. If I got a clean intercept, I'm going to go for it, but knowing I have been special intercepted twice in the past couple fights, I'm going to definitely be wary. But I figured Red Guardian would be great because I don't have to worry about the Buffet node with Red Guardian. In fact, he cannot gain buffs. If you're not sure what he does or how he works, I do have a champ tutorial on him. I would highly recommend it. But he's generally one of my main go-tos on Buffet nodes or Buffet style nodes because he can't gain buffs. I had a little time off right there, but that shield kind of saved me from taking some damage right there. Gotta love that ability of Red Guardian, as I misdexed. And now I'm going to keep on going in. I am going to keep doing some hits. Once I'm building on my power, I'm going to start worrying about building on my shield charges, because instead of gaining buffs, I will gain those shield charges. I'm a little too far back on those S1. So the big one is Dex, of course. Dex is an easy way to do what would normally be a buff with him. And we see him up to 10 now, so I'll just purposefully Dexed on the Buffet node. And that will be an easy way to build up his shield charge thingy-majiggy doohickeys, whatever they're called. I got durability max now. That is what I wanted. I got all 15 of those. I'm going to try to bait out an S1. I will generally try to bait out the S1s of Red Hulk instead of the S2s. But then I got impatient. Said, you know what? It's okay. I can handle his S2. I just like the S1. It's super easy, and it kind of lines them up for some clean shots. But let's go ahead and knock out that S3 with the durable charges maxed on out. We see the stun, fragile going on. Gonna have to, again, maybe see if I can bait out that S1. And it's not going. I got my durability max still. I'm now, while I am at durable max, I'm gonna try to work my way up to an S2. And then do some stuff. Yeah, do some stuff. Isn't that some technical semantics for you on what I'm going to do to Red Hulk? So go ahead. I got my S2. I do see that 1 bar of power, but that's okay. I'll do the S2. I got the trauma, got the stun. Do back-to-back heavies to include the fracture thingy-majiggy. Keep resetting it with heavy. So right now, while I got that fracture, whatever it's called, that red little slice bleed thingy-majiggy, I'm going to try to keep it up by doing heavies as need be. And, oh, I was a millisecond off there. Well, shapoopy. That is not the best timing, but that is okay. So I'll just do another S2. Let's get the stun up again. Let's get that up again. The trauma fracture, whatever it's called. And bait out that there. Counter with the heavy. Get some damage going on. I do have a fractured shield, and this broke a few times, fractured a few times. Therefore, it is going to take a while to recharge. Get that heavy on there, reset the timer, and still waiting for a very, very long time for my shield fracture to reset, and that went out, but that's okay. Let's go ahead, hit up that Red Hulk a little bit. Feels like I haven't been doing much damage as much as I would like, but then again, this is a very high health pool, so even though it feels like this fight's been going on for a while, it's because, well, this is a high health pool. Go ahead, keep hitting, waiting for that shield to re-go, but let's go ahead and just launch that S3 now, as I finally got Red Hulk under 50%, under half health. I will take that as a positive. Fling back up my shield, smack him upside his head. I got that stun. I tried to dash, didn't want to really dash, but that's okay. I got disorient. Remember, we get disorient when we take a block. Ooh, I just took some massive damage there, so I think there was some increased attack or something rating, I forget, on the buffs already, but I took 2 blocked hits and I took some major damage. Even for, you would think, I think I would have took less damage if I didn't take a hit. Oh, because the disorient was up. So yeah, that sucked. So the blocked hits unfortunately did me in, but I still took almost 400,000 health off of that Red Hulk with the Red Guardian, so that makes me happy. So now I'm going to bring in Guardian. Something I have to remember though now is when I get buffs, you see those block damage with that disorient, even with Red Guardian strong, woo-wee. So he is going to get heals every time I do a buff. I'm going to try to be careful on things like Dex, but then again, Red Guardian's going to get buffs anyway, so I'm going to keep healing Red Hulk. So I'm going to try to do some massive damage. I decided to see what an S1 followed by an S2 will do, but I'm starting to think, you know what, that was a probably bad choice. I should have probably built up 1 or 2 S3s and done an S2, because I think that probably would have finished the fight. But I know that if I don't use my S1 in the near future, it will wear off, so I may as well use my S2 now. There we go. See the damage we did, see some shock, see some red numbers, and that was pretty good. But my hindsight thought that I should have not even been dealing with S1 stands correct, as if you decide to use Guardian here, do a few S3s, build up the permanent force field charges, then do an S2. And now I'm seeing I'm at 32%. I don't know what I did there or why I did that. I just kind of instinctively threw in an S2 for no real reason. I should have just built up to an S3. I did a lot of sloppy stuff on this. I just keep thinking Red Hulk's going to go down. I can get him down. And I keep being wrong for many reasons. He's low enough now that I'm going to go back to the S1 to S2 strategy. I'm pretty sure he's low enough now that I don't have to deal with an S3, and I'm just trying to get him down. I'm frankly tired of this fight. The longer this fight goes on, the more he just keeps regenerating. Therefore, I'm trying to bait out that stupid S1 that doesn't want to come out. More regeneration for him, but I do see him getting close to an S2, so let's just see what happens here. And that gives some good damage, but yet again, not enough. Do a nice little intercept in there, and I'm getting really close to getting him down, but he got another 5% when I dexed. Red Guardian was, you see why I was using Red Guardian at first now, right? Much better, or maybe something like a Warlock or something that handles the heal champs would work well too. Guardian is not a good fit for here. He just became kind of my backup. I really expected to solo this fight with my Red Guardian. However, took more block damage than I was anticipating and took some hits, but that's okay. We finished it up. So Guardian made it look hard, but he did get it done, and that's what matters. Well, he didn't make it look hard. I made it look hard the way I was playing that, but that's okay. That's all good. We got through it, not with a lot to spare, but we got through, and that's what matters. So that was your 7.1 point through. Walk through, no revives, no health potions, none of that stuff. Don't forget to click that top left icon. Subscribe to MCOC Bundy Rules. Turn those notifications on. Remember my other walkthrough playlist. Remember my champ tutorials, my tips and tricks. I got a little something for everyone. So thanks for watching.